Oh, hey there, welcome back. If you're like me and you love to keep your space organized and stylish, then today's DIY project is perfect for you. We're going to build this adjustable multi-level tabletop shelf that will not only maximize your desk or countertop space, but also add a personal touch to your setup. This shelf is adjustable so you can move the sides in and out, making it as wide as you need, up to 30 inches wide. I ended up building 3 of these. First was for my daughter's dorm room, where it started as a desk/homework organizer and is now morphed into a beauty makeup station and decor shelf. I liked it so much, I built one for my desk where I use it as a charging station for all of my video and audio equipment, as well as some miscellaneous shipping supplies and books I grab frequently. Plus, it's a great weekend project that you can tackle with just a few basic tools and minimal materials, possibly even leftover scraps if you used 1/2-inch plywood in previous projects. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's just jump right into the build and I'll walk you through the steps. Come on, what are you waiting for? Let's go. I start at the table saw where I run 1/2-inch plywood through to the final width, which in this case, I'm using 7 inches. You can easily complete this tabletop shelf with scrap woods if you're using 1/2-inch plywood in any of your other projects. I'm using a full sheet because I built 3 of them. I set up an absolutely pathetic example of a stop block on my miter saw. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. In order to make repeatable cuts, I cut out all of the parts for the shelf at the miter station to final dimension. And don't lose faith in me, there's going to be an amazing miter saw station video coming soon. And of course, there's a full set of digital build plans for this build linked below in the description. The entire shelf will be assembled with pocket screws, so I whip out my handy dandy pocket hole jig workstation and add pocket holes to each end of the 3 identical shelves. These pocket holes will not be seen because they'll be on the bottom of each of the shelves. If you would like your very own pocket hole jig workstation, you're in luck because I have a full build video and detailed build plans for that. I'll link to those in the description below. So now that all the parts are cut, I decided to use 1/2-inch edge banding to clean up all of the rough plywood edges. And it's super easy to install just by using a household iron, or in my case, a film iron. Banding comes with adhesive on the back, and when heated up, it sticks fantastic to the wood. Once applied, I use a edge banding trimmer, which cuts a nice flush edge on both sides at the same time. And finally, a very gentle sanding, making sure not to sand through the veneer of the plywood. Second, to thank you all for watching my videos, because I wouldn't be able to do this without you spending your time watching my projects. The absolute #1 way you can support me without spending a single penny is subscribing to my channel and hitting the like button on my videos. Sounds silly, it really is a huge help to me. Thanks again for taking some time to watch, and let's get back to the build. To assemble the shelf, I start with the left side assembly because there's 2 legs on that. It'll stand on its own. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm using wood glue and pocket hole screws. I like to hold everything in place using pin nails. The reason for this is when you use your pocket hole screw, sometimes it'll move the 2 pieces around and the pin nails hold them in place. Now, I found that the easiest way to attach the long side to this is to use a spacer block. And that spacer block I cut from the dimension from the bottom of the shelf to the bottom of the short leg, so it is exact. I can then clamp the spacer block flush to the bottom of the long leg and screw everything in place with the pocket hole screws. Makes it super easy and everything stays level. So you can probably tell by now, I don't want to measure these dimensions. I want to use the actual model or the assembly and build upon it. I take the long right leg, I take the second shelf, lay it on top. I know exactly where it's going to go, and then I can glue, pin nail, and screw it in place. That's actually not a bad life lesson. Take what you have and build upon it. Simple as that. By doing it this way, I know that the two pieces are going to nest on top of each other absolutely perfectly. It is important to clean up your glue squeeze out, especially if you're going to be staining these. Stain doesn't stick to the glue and you will see it. And like magic, it fits perfectly. Who would have thought? The final part of the assembly is to assemble the middle shelf, and we're going to do it the same way as we've done the other ones. Use some glue, pin nails, and pocket hole screws. I'm actually going to assemble this on a flat surface to begin with. That way I know that the top of the shelf and the top edge of the leg are flush with each other. And I just found this was the easiest way to go about it. Once that side edge was attached, I took the whole right side assembly, turned it on its side, and then fastened down the middle shelf upright. It was easier access to the pocket hole screws. And the assembly is complete. Now we move on to applying a finish of your choice. In my case, or in this case, I used a gel stain. That's what my daughter wanted. And just brush it on, wipe it off like any other stain. The other two that I did, I used a walnut stain. And yeah, I'm not going to make you watch paint dry. So what should we talk about? Anything? How about those Chicago Cubs? Oh yeah. Oh, just kidding. And I finished it off with a coat of satin poly just for a little extra protection. And there you have it, your very own adjustable tabletop shelf. Whether you're using it to organize your workspace, display some of your favorite items, or just keep things tidy, I hope this project adds a little extra style and function to your setup. The great thing about this shelf is how versatile it is. You can customize it to fit your needs, and it's super easy to adjust as your space changes. Thanks so much for joining me on this build. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more DIY projects like this one. Also, I love to see your versions of my projects, so if you build this, make sure you tag me on my social media or drop a comment below if you have any questions. Until next time, happy building.